What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Welcome to Buzzworthy Lady T. So, I'm coming to you guys this morning because it's been some crazy mess going on concerning everybody's favorite, King of the South, T.I., the past couple days. And I just wanted to come in here and talk about it for a minute because it is getting doggone ridiculous, okay? So, if you guys don't know, then I'm here to tell you. Okay, so first off, a few days ago, T.I. reposted on Instagram a post that was written by a married woman who has a PhD. And I must say all this before I let you know what this post said. Now, she's a married, intelligent white woman who wrote a post stating why men won't get married. Basically, she was stating that there is no benefit for men when it comes to marriage in this day and age, because when things don't work out, they have a potential to lose their money, and when they're married they lose their friends, their freedom, their sex life, all this crazy mess. Like, she even said that men weren't necessarily committophobes, they were actually smart for not wanting to be bound to a contract. And I'm like, hell to basically speak out against marriage, and you're a married woman yourself. I don't care if you were giving the male perspective, because I honestly think that's what her intentions were. Her intentions were to give the male perspective of reasoning of why men are so hesitant to get married, or why they get married, but basically they get married under duress because women want to be married for the sake of saying that they got the ring, to basically ward off any side chicks and stuff like that. And I'm like, really? Is this a day and age that we live in that people are really saying that people only want to get married to one up the side chick, or one up, hello, or people want to get married just so they can have a ring? Is that what our society has come to? No one wants to get married for love, commitment, and partnership anymore. I refuse to believe that. So when she wrote that, I'm like, you sound kind of stupid, because you're not speaking for everyone. And yes, I know you're speaking for the majority. I know you're speaking from a particular perspective, but for a married woman, that just sounds hypocritical to me, because I'm like, if you're married, how are you talking, speaking against marriage? And then for T.I. to repost it and say he somewhat understands this post. And again, I wasn't jumping to the conclusion that, oh, he's just agreeing with everything. I am smart enough. I'm intelligent enough. And a lot of other people who read that post are intelligent enough to understand that he's not saying that he agrees with everything, nor is he saying that every man thinks this way. Every man feels trapped when they get married, or every man loses more than what they gain. But he was just, again, stating a particular opinion. But again, wrong messenger. A lot of these people want to come out here and speak all this, talk all this talk, but they're the wrong freaking messengers. The last thing we need to hear is somebody speaking against marriage from someone who constantly humiliates his wife by being caught with woman after woman. So the last thing we want to hear, how you doing? The last thing we want to hear is that you don't believe in marriage. And this is why men feel like they don't have any benefit for them in terms of marriage. No one wants to hear that from someone who constantly is cheating, or who's previously said this on another interview. No, when he said marriage was a distraction. So you don't just somewhat agree with this. You publicly stated this beforehand. So, no, you agree with this stance. You really believe that marriage is a hindrance. But was it a hindrance when she took that bid for you? You know, when you got caught up in 2010? Nah, huh? Was she a hindrance when she held you down all those years? You know, when you was going back and forth to jail and she's sitting up there holding you down, taking care of your kids, making sure everything is everything. So when you came home to everything being intact, including your family. Okay? And yeah, I'm going to get on Tiny too, because Tiny, you made it too easy. This part of the reason why he believed that men don't need to be married to have all this, and men don't need to be married to, have a commitment or to be in a loving relationship, is because women tend to be in a committed relationship without the commitment. We tend to want to be in a relationship or love our mate so much that we'll put up with certain situations knowing that it's not going to benefit. Easy for men to think that, oh, we don't, why we got to be married, we good now. Like that to happen, where we'll put up with a situation for years and years where we're not married but we steady having babies, or we've been living with this man for years on top of years and things of that nature. And so of course they don't see no value in marriage when we're in a society where all people do is have baby mama, baby daddies, or they just shack up with their man or their woman, and nobody's into the sanctity of marriage anymore. So, in these modern times, yes, because we are in a position where a lot of women have accepted this situation where we'll sit up and move in with a dude and have babies and basically have a family without none of the commitment. They don't see the value. I mean, men have lost the value and lost the sense of benefit of marriage because we've laid down and made it easier for them to receive the benefit without the marriage. And we sit home and not make it so easy. Like, let's say if we didn't make it easy for them to keep having babies with us, to keep having babies without the ring, or to shack up without the ring, then they'll see the value of marriage. Instead of just thinking, dang, I had all this without having to worry about, oh, she gonna take me for everything I got if things don't work out, or I'm gonna lose all my friends because now I'm a married man and now I got basically this chokehold on me. So yes, we as women, we made it easy for them to think like that. So that's partly our fault. But don't nobody want to hear this coming from a woman who is married and a man who is married continues to cheat on his wife. So, I mean, wrong messengers on what y'all attempted purpose was for that. Your message was not received. Return to sender, okay? And so he was getting a lot of backlash for that. And if that wasn't enough, because Tiny was already pissed. She had already went on social media and had a counter post, which was Snoop saying, if it wasn't for his wife and having a wife, his mental wouldn't be all there. He was like, he seen men who just run around here chasing, Instagram models and strippers and all that. And he was like, yeah, that's fun, but at the end of the day, you mentally messed up because when you done running the streets and you don't have a stable home to come home to, then what? You know what I'm saying? And I was like, that's right, Snoop. You need somebody that's going to take care of home and keep that mental straight. Okay? So that right there is a benefit. You know what I'm saying? And yes, again, I really do believe we as women have been made it so easy for men to reap the benefits of marriage without the commitment that They just like, why we gotta get married? Because a lot of guys like, oh, when I talk about how Tiny was holding him down and stuff, they like, well, she was doing that before they got married. I'm quite sure she would have continued to do it even if they weren't married. And I'm like, the sad thing is, they're probably tend to do that. They, when you say, oh, she held them down and all this, so why shouldn't they get married? It's like, why should we? You did it before, you gonna continue to do it. But anyway, so Tiny posted that clip of that interview from Snoop, and we was thinking, okay, this is gonna die down. He said what he said, and she said what she said. It was all it was all done. Okay, all good. But then this fool Ti has a show in Indiana and gets caught in his dressing room with the actress from Greenleaf. Okay, not only did she have a recurring role on Greenleaf, but she was part of that whole little altercation at Houston's that happened about a month ago. The three women who got dragged out of Houston's? Yeah, she was a part of that debacle. She was one of the women. And, he was so mad, talking about he was going to, shut down Houston's. Like, I thought we had already talked about this. Now I'm going to have to shut y'all down. Now, I'm thinking he just fired up because, he did boycott Houston's, and he had already supposedly talked to some people, and they were supposed to go under sensitivity training, and he told us that, it was all right to go to Houston's. So I'm thinking maybe that's why he was upset, because he had put his name on there, and he had let everybody know that Houston's was about to make amends on the way they treat people and hold themselves accountable. But now he got everybody giving him the side eye, because it's like, were you upset because you had already put your name on this boycott? You had already made it seem like it was all right to go back to Houston's? Hold on one second. I don't know why. Okay. It was getting kind of blurry. Okay. So, was that the reason? Because you truly didn't put your name on it, or is it because your side chick got caught up in some mess over there in Houston and you was coming to her defense? You know what I'm saying? Now you're making everybody wonder. And so, he's in the dressing room with the girl from Greenleaf at his concert. And he motions her to sit down. She comes to sit down. And he smacks her on the ass. And she got his hand all over his knee, just rubbing his leg and everything. And I'm like, girl, you are so inappropriate. Like, that is a married man, okay? And T.I., you wrong as hell, because you were the main one last year basically begging Tiny to come back to you, because once you had got caught out here, well, I ain't gonna say got caught, because he been doing his thing, but once Tiny got tired and filed for divorce and had moved out, and you had got tired of messing with Bernice Vargas. Once you see Tiny was out here doing her thing with Escape, making her money like she had been doing before you, let's not forget that it was her money from Escape and No Scrubs that helped you get on, okay? That helped you make all those CDs that you were selling independently that got you your record deal, okay? Let's put that out there. Okay, let's not forget that. So when she's out here making her money, and now you in your feelings because she ain't just sitting at home twiddling her fingers, you were twiddling her thumbs. You want to not sign the divorce papers, okay? Refuse to sign the divorce papers. Had not running away from the lawyer. We heard all about that, okay? That you was refusing to sign the papers. So obviously you want to fight for your marriage. You get her comfortable enough to say, okay, maybe we can try again, for you to only just go back to do what you normally do. Okay, and yes, I don't know their situation. I'm not in their marriage. Okay, and if it wasn't for the fact that this is what I do, I really couldn't care two cornballs. Okay, but the fact that he sat here and fought for this marriage. The fact that he wants to come out here and talk about, what's good for the community. Well, what's good for the community is strong black men and strong black fathers. And let me say this. T.I. is a wonderful father. No one's taking that away from him. And no, he don't have to be a good father to be in the home either. Unfortunately, I'm a product of divorce, but I'm also, fortunately, a product of having both my parents 50-50, okay? I had both my parents. But T.I. has to realize that part of his his thing about promoting what's good for the community is also promoting, strong family structure. And you can't promote a strong family structure when you're continuously cheating on your wife and humiliating her. I mean, you're not even pulling a Jay-Z, okay? Jay-Z at least had enough sense to keep his chicks quiet, okay? Nobody even knew about him cheating. Yeah, there was a little whispers here and there. And yeah, I remember way back in the day before they even got married, Beyonce had recorded this song called Resentment when she was talking about how he had cheated and basically, she was trying to forgive him, but she was full of resentment. And, we thought that once they got married, that it was over. But according, he finally came out and admitted that, yeah, he cheated again around the time when we had Elevator Gate. Okay? Now, mind you, Elevator Gate happened years ago, and we knew something was going on because Shalaz ain't going to go over there and attack the man for no reason. We already knew that was going on. But again, we had no side chicks popping out. He wasn't sitting up here all in public, embarrassing Beyonce, none of that. All we had was little speculations here and there and one little video. And since we didn't have no audio, we still didn't know what was going on. What we had was Jay-Z as a man stepping up and saying, hey, I messed up. And me and my wife had to work on this, and we decided that we were going to fight for our marriage because we don't want our kids to grow up the way we did. We want to get them better than what we had, which is a two-parent household with two parents that love each other, and we're going to start over. Okay? And we didn't find out about his indiscretions until he was man enough to talk about it, and until they were ready to, tell us, and after they had already been there, done that, and worked through it. Like, ain't nobody perfect, but the fact that he continues to disrespect her and not at least show her the respect to kind of like, first of all, be discreet, and second of all, don't be, refusing to sign divorce papers and stuff like that when you ain't gonna do right, okay? Let her live her life. Let her be happy. You can't have your, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. She deserves better than that. And again, I'm not in a marriage, but, I mean, the way he publicly embarrassed her, I mean, it's right in front of our face. So, yeah. So then, once the Shade Room basically put T.I. on blast, everybody put two and two together and realized that was the girl from Greenlee, as well as the girl who was part of that whole Houston's restaurant scandal. Okay? So they went on her page and they called her all sorts of thoughts and all of that. And my thing is this, yes, she's a homewrecker, and yes, I get it, but everybody needs to go just as hard on T.I. too, because he made those vows to Tiny. He made those promises. Again, he's the one that's married, not her. So I've actually seen people say, a man gonna be a man. She need to have more respect for herself. And I'm like, this is why we as a society have situations like this. Because right in plain view, granted we don't know the situation, but if we're gonna take at face value what we see right now, you see in plain view A man that is continually cheating on his wife with another chick, but you go right for the other chick. She's all sorts of hoes and sluts, and y'all going on Greenleaf's page, and telling they need to fire her, or they won't be, or y'all won't watch Greenleaf no more. But I'm like, okay, yeah, she's wrong, but he's constantly cheating on Tiny. If it wasn't her, it's gonna be somebody else. So while y'all sitting up there attacking this woman, attack him. He's the one who made the promises, and that's the problem. We be so intent or putting our energy, even when you do blame the man. Like I'm watching these comments and everybody's blaming T.I., of course, but they like relentless on the girl. Like on the woman, they call all sorts of whores and all this. With T.I., it's like, T.I., what kind of example are you setting? And you need to do better. But her, she's a slut bucket. She needs to lose her job. She's a whore. She's a homewrecker. And, men gonna be men. She should have more respect for herself. Why can't T.I. have more respect for himself? What's the problem with that? Oh, men allowed to be dogs? They're not allowed to have respect for themselves? Why is it okay for a man to be a hoe? Where does that say that anywhere? Tell me. And this is why, again, men are doing what they're doing. We will never, as women, have the men that we deserve because we spend too much time and too much energy focusing on the woman instead of focusing on the man who hurt us, okay? Because by the time we focusing on them, we tired. We done put all our energy towards that woman and wanting to fight her and cussing her out and all that. That by the time we cuss him out, it's a half-ass cuss out. So he gonna continue to do what he gonna do. And we so tired, we ain't gonna go nowhere. And that's the thing. We need to stop giving men so much power. Just like it's power in the D, because I get it. We don't want to be alone. The sex be good. And again, there's power in the D. But also women, there's power in the pussy, okay? So stop acting like, oh my goodness, I don't want to be alone, so I want to work it out. I get it. And I am not above working things out. Been there, done that, got the freaking t-shirt. But what I'm not going to do anymore is not fight for someone who's not going to fight as hard for me. Like, you're not going to be able to, for instance, continue to cheat on me, then when I get fed up, beg me back, and then humiliate me again by making me feel like, I'm a distraction and, there's no benefit to you being married to me. You're not even going to insinuate that because we've been through too much. You're not going to do that because guess what? I can't do that to you. I can't be with this dude, that dude, and this dude down the street, and then come running back to you and then do it all over again and then run around and basically act like you ain't nothing when you've been putting up with my mess. No, I can't do. You won't give me that leeway, so I can't give you that. I can't do that for you until I can run around on you just as much as you run around on me, and we still be cool at the end of the day. Then I'm sorry, I can't put up with it. But and again, I'm all for fighting. So I'm all for fighting for relationships. So if you gonna allow me and fight hard for me like that, then okay, then we can talk. But a lot of men won't. Like, for instance, how many chicks sit up here and take on break babies? And how many men take a woman back after she done cheated on you and had a baby? First of all, when a woman cheated on a man, she's never looked at the same. Ever. Even when they get back together, okay? First of all, that's the first thing they keep doing is throwing it up in your face. And don't forget, if they gonna get back in a relationship with you, they take that opportunity, a lot of them, to just make you suffer for you cheating on them. And a lot of them definitely ain't gonna take you if you call yourself being pregnant by another dude. That's few and far in between. So while, it's, oh, you a strong woman for working it out and stay strong, work it out for the family. Yes, it does take strength, absolutely, to, to stick it out and work it out. But I need men to have that same strength too, to give me to work it out with me that strong, to fight that hard, at least fight hard enough to not do it, to not hurt me anymore. If I'm fighting that hard to forgive you and to rebuild our trust and to get past my pain and hurt and all that, then at least fight for me enough to not keep doing the same thing. So y'all, that's all I had. I just had to vent a little bit because this he's doing the most. So let me know what y'all think about everything. Do y'all think this is really the end now for Tiny and Ti? You think she's gonna go back? Oh, and before I get off this camera, Ti went on live last night talking about, and I don't care what y'all think. I've been there. I've been there. He was like Hurricane Katrina. I've been there. Feeding the homeless. I've been there. Yes, you have. And nobody's taking that away from you, Ti. You've done some amazing things for the community. But we cannot let that distract us from how you humiliated Tiny. I can separate one from the other. I can praise you all day long for your activism, but that don't mean that you're not a whoremonger, okay? That you're not disrespectful as hell. So anyway, y'all, let me know what you guys think. Please, like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, y'all, peace and love.